Hello, it is Greg Milby with Kentucky's Heartland, kentuckysheartland.com. It is time now for the Heart of the Heartland segment, and we welcome in my friend, Jillian Carden of Silverleaf Inn. And this is the Heart of the Heartland, as I mentioned, and there are so many charities and organizations that are doing amazing things in the Heartland, and you guys truly are the Heart of the Heartland. And Jillian, what is your official title? I didn't even write that down.
Okay, I'm the executive director at Silverleaf.
The executive director. All right.
Yes.
Silverleaf Sexual Trauma Recovery Services. A lot of folks may know it just as Silverleaf because you don't necessarily put the rest of the name out there as much.
Well, we get some, maybe some resistance or folks who are a little leery about talking to us when we're out in public because our name has sexual in it. So a lot of times we just refer to ourselves as Silverleaf. But yes, our official name is Silverleaf Sexual Trauma Recovery Services because that's a lot of what we do.
All right, so who is Silverleaf? Give us the rundown of what Silverleaf is and who it is.
Okay, so Silverleaf was originally brought as an agency and called Advocacy and Support Center. And in about 2014, we decided to have a brand change that over to Silverleaf. But we are a nonprofit agency. We've been around for about 19 years.
Wow.
Yeah. We serve the 8 counties of the Lincoln Trail Ad District. So that includes Carden and LaRue, Breckenridge, Meade, Grayson, Marion, Washington, and Nelson.
Look at you. You've got them all. Did you practice that?
I have. I've practiced
Good.
a lot.
I should give a star for you right
yes,
now.
I would like that.
That's
some
good.
applause.
And now, what is Silverleaf? I mean, it really is a sad situation when Silverleaf has to get involved. So tell people what Silverleaf is.
Right. When people come to Silverleaf for services, for the most part, it is probably some of the darkest times in their life. We serve as a rape crisis and a child advocacy center. And what that means is regardless of age or when the sexual violence or rape occurred, we're going to provide services. So that incident could have happened 2 hours ago, 2 weeks ago, or 20 years ago. To us, we're going to provide services to that individual because we know that folks deal with trauma in a lot of different ways. And so we have some services that are immediate responses, and we have some other services that folks are going to work with those individuals when they're ready.
Have you noticed with the Me Too movement, more folks coming forward now that it maybe have been 10, 15 years?
Yeah, we're seeing a mix of that. So with the Me Too movement, a lot of folks are, there are some pros and cons, which may surprise you to hear me say that. The pro is definitely that it's bringing light and education and empowering some of the victims to talk about their story. Some of the negative things that come out of that is because there's so much attention on victims and their story, it's also bringing up a lot of victim blaming. And it's truly can be triggering. So if you turn on the news and you're listening to the radio and you pull up social media and all you're seeing is other victims of sexual assault, that can really bring up a lot of distress to victims who have dealt with their victimization, or maybe they haven't yet, and they're not ready to talk about it. So some of the other victims we've heard from is they almost feel pressure that they're supposed to tell their story. And from our stance, it's victims should tell their story if and when they're ready. If they want to tell their story, we're here to listen. If they don't want to tell us, then find somebody they trust and know that loves them to tell their story.
So what do you guys do? I mean, and who do you serve? I mean, there's a lot. There's a broad area. So what do you do for victims and folks, and who do you serve on a day-to-day basis?
Okay, so we have a lot of different services. One, we provide a 24-hour, 365-day crisis line. And this really is for individuals who maybe are struggling. Maybe it's 2 or 3 a.m. and they've just had a nightmare and they just need to talk to somebody. If they call our crisis number, that is going to pop up and somebody is going to answer the phone. Another way that crisis line is used is just for information. So maybe it's after hours, maybe parents just got home from work. They need to call and ask some questions. Somebody's going to pick up the phone. Another way is our local hospital. So of the 8 counties we serve, those regional hospitals, including Hard Memorial and Breckenridge Memorial, the Twin Lakes, if they have a victim that presents to the emergency room who's been sexually assaulted or they suspect has been sexually assaulted, they call us and we send someone out to the hospital to be with that individual. Our job at that response is if they want us there, then we will be with them through the whole process or whatever part of the process they want us to be. We also send something that's called a comfort bag because if an individual's been assaulted, sometimes their clothing gets kept for evidence. And so instead of having them walk out of the hospital in a hospital gown, we're going to send some clothing for them and some resources and information to help. Besides our crisis line, we also have a service called forensic interviewing. That's for police officers and the Cabinet for Health and Family Services. If they're investigating a child abuse or sexual assault with a child or teenager, they'll call us up and we do an investigation or an interview, not the investigation, but our trained interviewers talk to the kids, not necessarily to determine did something happen, because depending on the kid, they may not be ready to talk about it yet. But if they are ready to talk about it, then what we hope is that's going to help in the prosecution process and get perpetrators off the street. Yeah. We also, I'm just rolling on.
That's good. Hey, this is about you. This is, at Kentucky'sHeartland.com. This whole segment is designed for you. I mean, this is the heart of the heartland. I mean, you don't necessarily always have the opportunity to get this information out in a video format or video cast. I mean, a lot of this information is going to be posted to Kentucky's Heartland for a long time.
That's great, and we
appreciate
appreciate that.
I may be retired by the time this is no longer available on there.
Retirement's not my future anytime soon.
So I don't want to. We definitely need to talk about this. It's never a great thing because some people can't just handle it. Well, let's talk about the stats a little bit.
Okay. I
mean, because you and I mentioned this off camera a little bit. I mean, these stats are staggering and it's very alarming.
It is, and so I think the reality is because we only hear about incidents maybe in the newspaper, maybe on the news, and I don't think the stats align with what information we get. So what we know in our stats is that 1 in 3 girls and 1 in 6 boys before they turn 18 will be sexually assaulted.
Wow.
1 in 3 girls. That's
so is that
alarming. Nationally
or is that in our region?
That's nationally. Okay. That's major before they're 18. The national stats to include adults is consistently has been 1 in 4 women and 1 in 7 men will be assaulted at some point in their lifetime. And so if you think about the women in your life, the men in your life, we all know victims. We may not know it because maybe they haven't told their story, but we all know victims. Well, why don't we know about that? Well, 60% of cases never are reported to the police. And that's for a lot of reasons. That can be retaliation. They're concerned about their perpetrator retaliating. Perpetrators can sometimes make threats like, if you tell, I will do this. There's also concern about not being believed, that if they tell somebody, and a lot of times kids, if they tell someone and they get any glimmer of disbelief, a facial expression, posture, they will never tell another individual. Wow. And so it's vital that, listeners, folks who are tuning in, if a victim tells you their story, it is so important that you say, I believe you. Even if you don't know what else to do for them, you call Silverleaf, but the most important thing you can say is, I believe you, because that is the first step in this. Yeah. Another thing that Silverleaf has been covering is human trafficking. So you and I had some conversations about human trafficking.
And there's been some discussion about that too because of the Super Bowl. There were a lot of, people arrested in Atlanta.
And there was a big bust in California recently as well, human trafficking ring.
So, when you and I first had that conversation, it was mind-boggling to me because I don't necessarily think about that because, I live in the heartland. I live in Carden County, but we have to be very vigilant as well here.
Right. And I even myself, before coming onto this job, there was a sense of, well, that doesn't happen here. That happens in some kind of foreign country or, somewhere that's not here. It happens here. And so again, how often this is happening, I have to check my stats here, $150 billion business per year. That makes more than Google, Starbucks, Nike, and the NFL combined, human trafficking.
So how does this happen? I mean, where are these kids coming from?
Well, a lot of times it is kids. So the average age of individuals getting into human trafficking is around 12. 12 to 14 is the peak age for individuals. So our kiddos who are runaways, kids who are in foster care, they're some of the most high-risk individuals for being involved in trafficking. And trafficking can be labor trafficking. It can also be servitude. But what Silverleaf is focusing on is sex trafficking. A kid that runs away within 48 hours will be approached by a trafficker.
How do they know terrifying. That? I mean, is it the trafficker? Do they just they know where to go to see these kids, or how does that even happen within 48 hours?
Well, so traffickers are pretty intelligent people. They have a huge network of individuals. There's even published a book by traffickers on how to be a successful trafficker, which is sickening. But they're teaching each other how to be successful. And so they know where to look for high-risk population. The other thing that's happening with our kiddos that parents, myself, I have 2 kids myself, we have to be vigilant about is internet safety. Because another thing that's coming out of trafficking is kids are being recruited from social media in their own bedrooms, which is terrifying when your kids are growing up in a supportive, loving home. And
as parents of teenagers, social media is important to them. It seems like Instagram is the thing, and of course Facebook not as much because your parents are on it. But and somebody had made a comment to one of my kids that I can't believe that you follow your parents on social media. That's not really an option.
Yeah. Because
you're my kids and you're my house, and that's my phone that you're using. The phone that you're using is my phone. There are just certain rules that we live by, but I guess that's not always the case. And there are ways around it too. I know there are apps out there where they can hide what they're doing on social media. So what should parents be doing? Should we be living in fear, or should we just be a little more vigilant, or what? I mean, because I wasn't aware of any of this stuff in our area.
Yeah, I think that. So I'm a relationship person. And the most powerful thing that is a conduit for information is relationships. And so I think it's vital that parents are having conversations. They're having conversations early and often. So talking to kids about good touches, talking to kids about internet safety. We have a 9-year-old, and we've already talked to him about internet safety and the idea that just because they say they're a kid or that they're your age, it doesn't mean that they are. They could be an adult. And so age-appropriate conversations, but it's important because if your kids have questions, or teaching them to pay attention to their gut, the and making sure that they have that relationship, that they know if I come to you with an uh-oh feeling, I'm not going to get in trouble about that, even if I was maybe doing something I wasn't supposed to, because we want our kids to come to us to be safe people instead of trying to figure it out on their own.
So, and I know you guys have got quite a few community partners and eyes out there that are helping. Who are some of your community partners?
Well, as I mentioned with the hospitals, we are constantly in contact with our hospitals because of the nature of what they're doing in treating the sexual assaults at the hospital. We also work very closely with local law enforcement, whether that's KSP, the sheriff department, county. Those are important because they're investigating, and we want to help them as much as possible. The Cabinet for Health and Family Services, they're another partner because again, they're serving kids and trying to keep them safe. So we're on shared mission. We may approach this very differently, but we are on shared mission that perpetrators are off the street and our kids and our families and our adults are taken care of in our community.
Well, good. It's always great to have community partners.
Yeah.
Now, the other question that comes up is, how are these services paid for? I mean, because not everything is free in life, and I'm sure there's a lot of money involved with helping Silverleaf. So how are the programs and how is the services paid for?
Well, when you said not everything is free, actually coming to Silverleaf as a client, everything is free.
That's good.
Yeah.
But on the other side of it,
we have
so,
to pay for that.
So how does that happen? And that's great that everything that you guys do is free.
Yes.
But on the other side, how is it paid for? And then later on, we'll talk about how we can help with that. But how are the services paid for?
So we have a large federal grant. It's called Victims of Crime Act. And so that's a federal grant that pays for a lot of our services. We also have some state grants. So Cabinet for Health and Family Services, Crime Victims Compensation. So there's some state grants. Then locally, we are very thankful to be a recipient of the United Way, Central Kentucky. And then last year, we were a recipient of a Heals Together grant, which was wonderful. So that grant, along with Leadership Hardin County, they came out and put in a beautiful healing garden at our center, which was awesome. We love it. So we've definitely got some local funders as well. And then donations from folks. So that comes in all kinds of varieties. And
we'll talk about some events that they've got coming up in the month of April. And by the time you watch this, these events may have already passed, but we'll get to that here in just a second. But for somebody that, to jump down the line a little bit, for somebody that wants to support, and that's the main reason when we talk about Heart of the Heartland, we want to talk about agencies and charities that are doing great things in our community. But we got a very giving community.
Yes.
They want to support, they want to volunteer, they want to donate money, but they don't necessarily know how to donate the money or where to donate the money or where to even volunteer their time. So how can people support Silverleaf and the survivors at Silverleaf? How can they do that?
Well, so the first one I'm going to say probably hits the ear, or at least before coming on as executive director, I struggled with this because in giving money to a nonprofit, I always wanted to know that it was going directly to the individuals. And so now being on kind of the other side of the fence as the director, I realized the importance of financial donations. And every dollar truly helps us. Whether it is you got $10, you gave us $1,000, we are going to be so appreciative in any amount. And even though it may not be a direct something that we are tangibly giving to a client, that helps provide services. And frankly, there's just stuff that comes up. So we own our building. We have some plumbing issues
Things
right
break.
now. Yeah. And so that's going to be about a $10,000 project. And it's not very, it's not a glorious thing to say, hey, we could use some money to pay for our toilet. But they're needed. That's the reality of being a nonprofit.
But that's the reality of what people want to help with too. They know that you guys have challenges too. You have challenges in a building that can hinder you doing the work that you do.
Right.
And I think that people want to make sure that that's taken care of.
Right, because that bathroom does serve our clients and our staff. But money is not the only way. So I don't want folks to just hear that time. Time is a valuable commodity for everybody. We have lots of volunteer opportunities, whether that's working directly with clients or we all the time have projects going on that we could need some assistance with. Like maybe it's hanging some blinds or staining a fence in the spring. We could definitely use some folks to do that. Time is a commodity, but talents. So we have folks, and one of the events we're going to talk about is local artists are donating some artwork for an event we're having come up. We had a business approach us last week, and they said, we don't know how to make this work, but we want to fundraise for you. So we sat down and we talked about what's going to be good for you, what's going to be good for us. So if you want to help, we will figure out a way that is a good fit for you and a good fit for us on how to help. Other things that don't require, I guess, a lot of effort is, our staff work really, really hard, and it's a difficult field to be in. And so even if it's sending an email to us at our contact us email address, just to say, thanks for what you're doing, or we appreciate what you're doing. I always make sure that staff hear the positives because they need that oomph of we're doing good.
I can only imagine on the day-to-day what you guys go through, because you don't just, these are not just cases. These are people that are involved. And I know you guys, you wear it on your sleeve and you wear it on your heart. Yes. And I know that's a lot to take on a day-to-day basis, and it's not a job for everybody. So, but supporting you guys and being encouraging is a job that we all can do.
Yes,
that is for sure.
Yes,
and I know also it's very important that you guys that the word gets out. People need to know that your services are there. I know it's not one of those that you want to put on a billboard and flash it in front of everybody, because some people just want to they hide from that. But the problems are real, and it may affect people that you know. So definitely share your social media, which we're going to have that here at Kentucky'sHeartland.com. All that information is down below this video, right Great. Down there.
Nice.
Somewhere
I like that.
Down there, underneath in words that are there. So now we talked about events, and at this point, if you're getting information about Silverleaf, and now this is how you can support. You can donate money, you can donate your time, you can volunteer to help out, you can share the word. We all can do that. But also in the month of April, there are a lot of events because it is Child Abuse and Sexual Assault Awareness Month. Yep. And I know in March and April, you guys have quite a few things that you're working on. So let's start with March. So on March 22nd, you mentioned a little bit this art gallery.
Yes.
We're going to have an auction.
Yes, we are.
And it's not like finger paintings from little Jimmy from 6th grade.
No.
It's good stuff.
It's good stuff.
Okay.
So we are asking from our 8 counties that we serve, local artists have donated their artwork, and it will be auctioned off that night. We have a silent auction that will be happening, and we also have a live auction. And we've heard that there's going to be some really fantastic auctioneers that night.
I don't know about that.
Yeah, I'm excited about that.
You'll have a free auctioneer available.
I heard he's amazing. He is amazing.
No, he's not.
Yes.
I am invited to do charity auctions because I am really that bad.
I don't believe it.
Bad.
You're going to prove me
But you know what? It's all about fun. And I don't practice because I don't want to get any better at it, because it's all about raising money. And we want, when I do it, and the folks that I do a lot of the charity auctions with, we want to make it fun. It's not a regular auction where you're out there, selling a tractor or something. You're raising money, and we're going to have fun. And I am not ashamed to sit in somebody's lap. I've sat in a lot of people's lap in this community. All
right. Well, that's an interesting.
You invited me to do this, so just know that.
Not set in people's laps, just to auction.
Okay. So if people want to buy tickets for this event, how do they get tickets for the auction?
So our board members are all selling tickets, but you can also stop by our office and let us know, and we'll have tickets available at our office.
Okay, so March 22nd, the Art Gallery Auction, Survive to Thrive. Where is it? What time is it? And how much are tickets?
So the auction is going to be at the West Banco Gallery at the State Theater. The event's going to start at 6:30. And the tickets are going to be $30 each. That'll get you in. There's going to be music. There's going to be hors d'oeuvres, lots of folks to talk to, and you can leave with some artwork that night. So that's pretty fantastic.
I'm hoping that the suggestion I gave you guys for musical entertainment works out, because if so, it's going to be a great night.
Well, I'm excited about
entertaining.
it. Yeah.
So also April events, Wear Teal and Denim Day.
Yes. So I'm rocking my teal shirt and this is Your Voice Has Power.
I've got one in the bag over here.
Yes,
I'm going to run in it.
You're going to run in it.
Yes.
Well, okay. And you can.
And I run slow enough that people will see it.
Okay, good. I thought it was just going to be a blur. You're like, I don't know. That's great.
No, it's slow enough people will see it. So you're going to get some exposure out of that.
Okay, good. Okay, good. But yeah, so our teal shirts, by the way, if you're interested in purchasing one of these, we have these for sale as well. We have Denim Day. And so the people were like, well, what's up with Denim Day? An individual was once lost her case as an assault because the jury said it was because of what she was wearing. And so some legislators intentionally wore denim to protest the fact that it doesn't matter what you wear, it's not your fault. So there's several events. You can check all of those out on our website. And if you participate, we would love to get a picture of you, your staff, whoever, and we will post that on our social media as those events pop up. So those are all listed out on our website.
Awesome. And I know Chalk the Walk.
Yes.
I have no idea what that is, but I'm sure you're going to explain to me what Chalk the Walk is.
I will. So on this day in April, we encourage folks to put out encouraging messages or to survivors or statistics about the frequency of sexual assault. Last year, a lot of the downtown businesses allowed us to do that. So we had several messages out in this downtown area. If you or your business are interested, we actually even put packages together where we will send the chalk to you. We will tell you, here's some things to put on your sidewalk. And then, again, take some pictures and we'll give you a shout out on our social media.
Good stuff. And then a community kickball tournament.
Yes.
In collaboration with Hard Memorial Health. Now, is this an open kickball tournament, or is this just Hard Memorial folks doing that?
Well, yes and no. So Hard Memorial, their SANE program, is going to have a kickball team. We at Silverleaf will have a kickball team. We are hoping that some of our local law enforcement will have a kickball team. We've heard that local prosecution, I'm going to hold them to it, is going to have a team. So community can have a team.
I'll encourage some of our law enforcement teams. I can make that happen.
Okay, that'd be great.
I can do that.
Yeah, but it's not a fundraiser. We're just doing this as a community awareness and just a fun day.
It's kickball. Who doesn't want to play kickball?
Exactly. Oh. Well, I'm out of shape.
Well, nobody around here are professional kickball players, so we don't have to worry about somebody padding their team.
Well,
we're all amateurs.
I hope so.
So what's the date on this kickball tournament? Do you know?
That is the 13th, April 13th. That's a Saturday. And so more info to come out for that. I believe it's going to be $100 a team, and that's really just to cover some cost of trophies and door prizes. I think we're going to have some food trucks out there. So even if you don't have a team, come out and see the fantastic show that I'm sure will ensue.
All right. And then on April 20th, I love the movie Toy Story.
Oh, yes.
And Crown Point Theater at 6:00 on the 20th, they're doing a great thing where they're donating some of the ticket sales back to you guys. So
yes.
How do people get tickets to see Toy Story at Crown Point, and how much of that money you're going to get back?
So the tickets are $8. We're going to get 6 of that back. With every purchase of the ticket, the individuals will also get a 30% off concession stand coupon, which is a really good deal.
Great deal.
And you get to see Toy Story, the original, which Toy Story 4, I believe, is coming out. So this is nice, to go back and remember.
Yeah.
We watched Toy Story a lot. A lot. But
I saw the original when it was an original. That makes me feel really old now. But anyway.
But folks can get those tickets on our website. There will be a link posted on our website that they can get those purchase those there.
Good deal.
So we're really
and
excited about
with
that.
this blog at Kentucky'sHeartland.com, watch this. Kentucky'sHeartland.com. Below that right there is all kinds of information. There's a link to Silverleaf's website. We'll have a link there as well to their social media so you can see all of that. So all the stuff that we've talked about here will be listed there and on their community calendar page too at Kentucky'sHeartland.com. There's a lot of stuff there.
There's a lot of stuff. We appreciate you helping us.
We've talked about a lot.
We have.
And I'm sure people have questions. So if somebody has questions, how can they contact you at Silverleaf?
So we have, there's a few ways. During business hours, Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5, you can give us a call. And our information is going to be listed there, our phone number.
Yeah,
so
down there. Right down below.
Yeah, so give us a call. If it's after hours, that same phone number is also our crisis line. So again, somebody's going to pick up the phone. You can also send us an email at contactus@silverleafky.org, and somebody will get back to you. So we're available. If you have questions, if you have needs, we definitely want to serve those. If you have resources or you want to find a way to volunteer or fundraise, we will help you figure that out as well.
Awesome.
And it's great. We're here, and our mission is to serve our community, and we just want folks to know that we're here and available because we know survivors are out there, and we want them to know that we're here.
Well, good. Hey, thanks for coming in today. We want people to know that you're here as well, and we want people to support you with their time, their talents, their finances, if they can do that, because you guys do amazing work, and we're very appreciative of what you do. And you're our first Heart of the Heartland.
I know.
How about that?
I know. Thank you for having us. I'm so excited. I really appreciate you having us on.
All right. So good deal. All that information, Kentucky'sHeartland.com. You're seeing it here, and below you'll find a lot more information. Now, if I make a mistake and put it above, I'm going to have to flip this video upside down. So we'll look really... Okay. All right. That's my friend Jillian Carden with Silverleaf, and this is Heart of the Heartland.